There's a program a lot of buyers are still trying to apply for right now that closed back in July. If you don't know that, you could waste weeks. I want to walk you through exactly which California first-time buyer programs are live in 2026 and which ones are actually reach home prices here in Temecula, Murrieta, Lake Elsinore, Menifee, and the surrounding areas. If you want to know which of these you could actually qualify for, book a call with me and I'll walk with it through it for free. Now, every article ranking for first-time buyer programs in California 2026 reads the same. A list of 4 or 5 Cal FHA programs with no context on whether they actually reach home prices in Temecula, Murrieta, or Menifee, and or Lake Elsinore for that matter. They do, but only if you know how to stack them, and only if your income and debt actually clear the bar. That's what I want to walk you through, using real Southwest Riverside County prices instead of a generic statewide example. So here we go. MyHome and Zip, the stack that does most of the work. The two programs that do the most work together are MyHome and Zip. MyHome gives you up to 3.5% of the purchase price towards your down payment and or closing costs. Zip adds another 2 to 3% specifically for closing costs. Stack them and you're looking at up to 6.5% of the purchase price covered. Both as deferred loans with no monthly payment as long as your combined loan stays under 105% of the home's value. On a $650,000 home in Murrieta, that's real money. Play the same math out in Menifee, where the median runs closer to $565,000 to $999,000 and 6.5 interest covers even more of your upfront cost. In Temecula, where the median is closer to $775,000, that same 6.5% still matters, but it's stretching further to close the gap. This is exactly why I walk clients through the numbers city by city instead of handing them a generic percentage. Now there's also MyAccess, a 2.5% deferred loan built for buyers with disabilities or a household with a member with a disability. It's smaller than the Dream for All program used to be, but it stacks the same way. MyHome does a lot of buyers who qualify don't know it exists because it doesn't get the headlines the bigger programs do. Okay, so here's the one I need you to hear clearly. Dream for All, the program that covered up to 20% of the purchase price for first generation buyers, is closed as of July 2026. No new round has been announced. If you're still filling out worksheets, assuming that money's coming, stop. Build your plan around what's actually funded right now. I'd rather give you a plan that works today than have you wait on something that might not come back. Okay, so the down payment usually isn't what disqualifies people. It really is its debt to income ratio. Cal FHA caps at a debt to income ratio at 45 to 50%, and at California prices, that ceiling knocks out more buyers than the down payment ever does. Income limits matter too. As of June 30th, 2026, they run up to around $192,000 in most inland counties, which covers the vast majority of first-time home buyers here. So if you've been told you make too much for down payment assistance, that's usually not true in Riverside County. DTI is where I actually see people get stuck, especially with a car payment or student loans already on the books. So Cal FHA assistance isn't its own loan you take instead of a mortgage. It rides along a standard 30-year fixed loans, FHA conventional, VA, or USDA, and which one fits you depends on your credit, whether you've served, and the property itself. Your lender walks you through that part. I'm not going to pretend to be your loan officer on camera. So I'll give you a realistic example. Let me put a real number on this, just as an example, not a quote. Say you're buying in Menifee at $580,000, stack MyHome and Zip at 6.5%, and you're looking at roughly $37,700 towards your down payment and closing costs. Run that same 6.5% on a $775,000 home in Temecula, and it's closer to $50,375. Now that's a bigger dollar figure because the price is bigger, but the same percentage doing the work. That's the kind of side-by-side I run with clients before they decide which city actually fits their budget. How to actually start. So here's the actual order of operations, not just theory. First, talk to a lender. who regularly closes CAL FHA loans. Not all of them do. So this really matters more than people realize, because a lender who's done it twice will move slower and miss things a specialist won't. Second, get your DTI checked before you attach emotionally to any price point, so you're not falling in love with something that doesn't pencil out. And third, get fully pre-approved, not just pre-qualified, so your offer actually carries weight if you're competing for a home. And fourth, call an agent who already knows which of the Southwest Riverside cities fit your specific assistance amount. What I tell my clients really is that this is exactly the kind of financing puzzle I work through with buyers all the time, including the hardest cases, the ones that other agents wave off, because I'm familiar with an array of financing programs, even the most challenging ones. You don't need to have it all figured out before we talk. That's what I'm here for, is truly to educate. So if you want to find out which of these programs actually work for you and your income and your target price, book a call with me. Links below.